Yes, you may not
Preferences
believe
are
that,
not
but what
true or
about other
false,
people?
sir. So you
Yeah,
can go out and
what about
murder
other
people
people?
if you want. That it doesn't mean that God exists.
Yeah, but that is that moral or not? That's the question. I mean, you of
I
course you
don't
can do
believe
that.
moral propositions are
Yeah.
true or false, sir.
Well, again, you need to show evidence that what is moral and what is not moral. I mean,
No,
how
I
do you
don't.
define morality?
Why
Yeah,
do I
you.
need to
I
do
mean,
that?
yeah,
Why is that? What does that have to do with whether
because
or
that
not
is
God
how
exists?
we as human beings live in a society. That is how we interact with other people. That is how we as human beings live our life. So if there's no morality, there's no ethics, there's no need for morality, then how are you going to lead your life? How
Well,
will you
people just
interact with other
act on
people?
their preferences. People have ethical
So
preferences.
if my
That doesn't mean that God
preferences is
exists.
if my personal preference is to go out and kill people, you would accept that. You will
What can
seriously
I say?
accept
No,
that.
oh no, we need to say that God exists to stop you. Like, what do you want me to say? Yeah, you can go out and kill people if you want. What the fuck does
Wow,
that have to do with God?
that actually speaks volumes because if I were to go and buy a gun, walk into somewhere in the
Sir,
U.S.
There's
why are you
and I
consequences.
admitting it?
shoot everyone,
You could do
that is
it.
moral. That is okay for you because that is absolutely
Look,
ethical.
maybe you didn't understand the fucking fallacy. It's called the appeal to consequences. So what you're saying is, if we don't believe in God, then we can just go out and murder people. That's not a
Exactly.
fucking
That's why
argument.
that
That's an
that is what
error
I
in reasoning, sir.
that is what exactly I'm saying because
Yeah,
without
I know exactly.
something
That's
to
a
define.
fucking
Oh, she bad
logical
man.
fallacy.
Um,
You
then you need to
flunked,
tell me
sir.
how do you then
This is the second fallacy I pointed out. You flunked. You
for me
failed.
it's
Now,
for me it's not a fallacy. You
you
keep
want to move on to the
interrupting
next
me, so
point
I
about the
can.
fucking
I mean,
trees? That was what the
you
next
keep
thing was. The
interrupting
fucking
me,
trees
and
exist.
I can't explain the point properly. Okay, please excuse me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, everything that I've laid out is pieces of the puzzle. Yes, you can pick each one and dissect and every one, but in the end, you need to look at the whole picture. It's not just about
Yeah, let's put together
morality
a
and
whole
reasoning.
puzzle full of logical
Yeah,
fallacies and get God. What the fuck is the matter with you?
you need to go through and tell me which is the fallacy because I don't see the fallacy here. I'm sorry, you don't
I
convince me at
told
all.
you. Look, Google it. It's called the appeal to consequences, and the first one was the appeal to
Yes, you can
ignorance.
throw. Yes, you can throw all kinds of terms. Appeal to logic, appeal to this, appeal to emotionalism, appeal to whatever. But it doesn't mean anything because you don't fit in the whole puzzle. You see, I mean,
I don't know what
let's
that. I'm
go
not
through.
following what you're saying. It doesn't
You
mean
need to go through the whole
fallacies don't
thing,
mean
and only then you can
fallacies
tell
don't
me
count.
where is the fallacy.
Fallacies are not problematic if you're putting
You're
them
just
into a puzzle.
what you are doing is just to pick at one particular point, and then you try to slam a
Yeah, we're gonna address
particular appeal to fallacy.
each point one at a time.
Okay, never mind. It's okay. Go ahead. It's up to you. I mean, we can go through
Yeah,
each
we're
and
gonna
every one.
address each one
Yeah,
at a time. What do you want
of
me to
course.
address them all at once? Because there's something also called the machine gun fallacy, sir, which would be if you wanted me to address all your points at the same time.
I've
Like,
never heard of
it's
that.
an embarrassment. Aren't you embarrassed? You come on this fucking show and you don't even know what a goddamn motherfucking machine gun fallacy is? What the fuck is the matter with you? This is a debate show.
I don't rely on these kind of philosophical arguments or pointing
Oh my
out
god.
You
logical
don't
fallacies.
rely on logic and reason.
I don't rely on pointing out logical fallacies to others because I believe that sometimes you need to appeal to your heart. You need to appeal not just to logic, pure uncalculative logic alone. You need to have some heart into it. Okay, so it's not just about logic alone when it comes to evidence for the existence of God. You see, yeah. So you need to look at the bigger picture, as I said.
Okay, like the trees, that thing, you want to look at the fucking trees? So you're saying that these
Sure,
things
why not?
appear designed. What?
They
What?
don't. They don't.
Okay. Well, sir, you're saying that all these things in the world appear designed. How the fuck do you know if everything in the world appears designed? Then what are you fucking comparing it against that would be non-designed? If you don't
Is this
know, if we don't have
design?
an example, sir,
Did
if we
this
don't
pop
have a
out of thin
fucking
air?
example of something that is not designed, then how do you know what fucking something that's designed looks like? Answer the
Is this
question.
design?
Answer the yeah.
Is this
Answer the
design?
question.
Is this design? Yes or no?
Yeah, and you know what I'm comparing that? You know what I'm comparing that against to determine that it's designed? A fucking tree, because a tree is not designed. Now, what are you comparing the trees
I
against to
think
say
a
that they are
tree is much
designed?
more
What?
complicated
Give me
and
an example of something that's undesigned.
much more complex and much more complicated than this. Right? Yeah,
The
and I
trees
don't
are more
think a
complex
tree.
than a computer mouse.
Yes, yes, it is. It is much complex and much more complicated. I don't think you can create a tree. I challenge you to create a tree. create the tree. If you can do that, then yeah, I will
Yeah,
concede the
minds
point.
don't create trees, sir, like you
then I
believe.
think um, then I think you haven't gotten my point. So yeah,
What's the point?
it's up
Well, I asked you a question that you didn't answer. What are you to
no,
determine that
because
they're designed? What are you
well,
comparing them against?
the answer is when you said yes when I asked you, is this design? You said yes. So if this
Yeah, because
mouse,
I have examples of minds creating
this
computer
simple,
mice.
sorry, please don't interrupt me, please. So this mouse, this simple mouse, okay, has a creator. What makes you think a tree, which with all its complexities, with all its organism, with all the veins that of the tree, the leaves, the they because we know that trees uh, produces carbon, carbon, oxygen, and also breathes in oxygen, takes in oxygen, etc. What makes you think a tree, which is much more complex than this, does not have a creator?
Because I don't see any evidence to believe it, and I don't. If I did believe that everything in the world, this is the point you haven't responded to.
Then I
If
can
I
use
did
the same.
believe,
I would probably use then if that's the case, then I can just deny it as well. I can just say, okay, this does not have a creator. I don't believe that this has a
but
creator.
I can
That's
show you
basically
evidence of
that's
computer
that's
mice
basically
being
what you're
created by minds, sir.
that's basically what you're saying. So I mean, that's not an argument. To me, that's a fallacy.
Sir,
That's a
I
fallacy
can
of
pull up a
denial.
fucking YouTube video of like a computer factory and you can watch fucking people with minds creating computer mice. You can't do that with
You
God's
I think
mind creating the universe.
if
But you
you
still
ask me, I
haven't
think
addressed the point.
you have
Sir,
already
don't interrupt
considered
me.
the point
I
when you
stopped
said
talking when you said don't interrupt you.
yes
You're
to my
being rude. You're
question.
being rude.
When you
I
said
didn't
yes
interrupt. I
to my
stopped it from
question,
interrupting you, so stop interrupting
whether
me.
this
Sir,
okay, sure,
calm down.
go ahead, okay,
You
sure,
didn't answer
sure.
the fucking question. How are you determining that it's designed? If you think everything in the world is designed, then you have nothing that's undesigned to compare it to determine that it's designed.
Because this is human logic. I mean, something cannot be created out of nothing. You can't say that this tin was created out of nowhere. Someone must have done something to it, right? Someone must have
Look,
processed
those
it.
aren't the
So the
look,
trees
those aren't
just
the
appeared
two
out of
a
nowhere,
fucking
out
those
of
aren't the only
existence.
two options. We could have a
That, that,
past
that that's
eternal
basically what
universe.
that's what you
We could live in
basically
an
that's what you're telling
oscillating
me.
universe, right? Something that's not a god could have caused the universe. There's all these different options. It's not that something can't, like, it's not either god or something came from nothing. There's all these different options. But by the way, now I'm going to ask this guy a question. He's claiming that something can't come from nothing, and I want everybody to watch him dodge this question. He won't be able to not be able to answer it. If nothing exists, right? Nothing is the absence of everything. Then what the fuck is the thing that's preventing something from popping into existence, sir? Now watch him dodge. Watch him not answer.
Sorry, I don't really get it. I mean, you're saying
Okay,
what
a
is
child
preventing
can
something
understand.
from happening
If
into anything?
nothing exists, nothing is the absence
Okay.
of everything. You're saying something can't pop into existence because there's something that's preventing it from popping into existence? What is the thing that's preventing it if nothing exists? If nothing
Well, there
exists, then nothing is
yeah.
preventing the something from popping into existence, right?
There has to be something that's preventing it. I mean, if I throw this to the
I don't
ground
get the question.
Exactly.
and
Exactly. There has to be something that's
someone is
preventing it.
preventing me
But
from throwing it to the
there's not
ground,
something that's preventing it if nothing exists.
if something prevents me from throwing this to the ground, then someone must have been preventing me something. So it's the same thing. It's the same logic here. I mean, you can simply assume that just because there's nothing is preventing me from stopping it, there's not no existence for there's no force stopping me from doing it. I mean, where's the logic in that? I don't get the logic.
You're not, I don't understand how you cannot understand. If
I
nothing
don't understand.
exists, then there is not something that's preventing something from popping into existence, right?
Why would something have to
It
pop
goes back to
into
my earlier
existence
point. I
just
mean,
because nothing exists?
I mean,
I don't get
oh,
It's a
it.
okay.
yes or no question. Do you
I don't
It's
know
understand?
how
way too
to
big brain for me.
break this down any further because there has to be like I said, there's always a cause and effect. Okay, the effect doesn't come before the cause. This is basic logic. You can't say that if the effect comes before the cause. Okay, this is basic human understanding of logic. Okay, so there's always B first. Sorry, B after A. A cannot come after B. So what you're proposing is that B comes before A. I mean, doesn't make any sense to me.
How,
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know what you're talking about. What am I proposing comes before what?
We're all confused.
No, I
We're
mean, I don't
all
know.
confused.
You want to go to the next point? I mean, I think I think I've said my
No,
piece,
I want you to
right?
explain what you just said.
So basically, what I'm saying is that nothing, okay, nothing, nothing can exist, okay, without something happening, right? Do you get my point?
No,
Do
you're
you get
just
what I'm
restating the
saying?
claim.
I am stating the claim. That is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you're restating the
So
claim
so
without answering my question about the claim or explaining it.
well, basically, I'm saying that this is human reasoning. I mean, you can't if you can't accept it. I mean, there's nothing I can say or
What is
do that will
human
convince
reasoning?
you. Okay, human
Sir,
reasoning is
look,
a
you
faculty
didn't,
for us to think and understand and to will everything. Yeah,
sir,
what makes us human? That's the question.
do you agree or disagree with, you're trying to do a red herring. Do you agree or disagree with this? If nothing exists, then nothing is preventing something from popping into existence. Do you agree with that?
I disagree with it because how can
Oh,
nothing
so
prevent
what is
something
the
from
thing that's
existing?
preventing it? What is the thing that's preventing it?
It depends on the situation. I mean, you can't just
It can't be
simply
like the laws of cause and effect, right? Because nothing exists. The laws of cause and effect don't exist. So it can't be that.
what you're proposing is that something might have caused some nothing to exist. I mean, it still goes back to something. It goes back to something that will prevent it to
Mm.
become
I'm
nothing.
not claiming
So
that
so
something came
so
No,
it's
from
hold on,
it's
hold
nothing.
to
I'm
on.
me
I
to
think I
saying
me
get
it's
it. I think
not
I get
a
it.
that
logical
So I
that
think what
impossibility.
she's saying is if nothing exists, then nothing is stopping nothing from existing. So she's saying, but okay. So my question, so why would that, like, okay, fine, nothing exists, so nothing is stopping anything from existing. I guess then what's your point? Like, what does that have to do with anything? So things can exist, right? So nothing's stopping things from existing. So things can exist. But I don't get. So what's your argument? I don't get the argument. I think that's where I'm at right now.
Ability.
that is illogical. What you're proposing is illogical because it doesn't make any
It's
sense
not.
to
What's
me.
the contradiction? I'm
The
not, and but I'm
contradiction
not
is
proposing it. I'm just saying that it's a possibility. It's a logical possibility.
how can
It might be
something prevent some
counterintuitive.
how can
Something coming
something
from
prevent
nothing
nothing?
might be counterintuitive, but that's not an
No, it
argument,
can't be
right?
that's my point. It can't be counterintuitive.
I
Okay,
don't
it
know why
can't
you
be.
don't
It
think
can't
maybe
be.
the
Yeah,
laws of cause
yeah.
and effect just came into existence at the Big Bang and didn't exist prior to it.
Well, you want to talk about the Big Bang, then
Okay.
that's a different discussion actually that we can talk about. Yeah, that's something totally different.
No, it's not. We're talking about something coming
Yeah.
from nothing.
Mm, mm. Yeah, if you
But
want to talk about
I
Big
also
Bang, yes.
already pointed out that we could also live in an oscillating universe, right? It doesn't mean that a God created. Just let's assume. Okay, let's assume something can't come from nothing, even though I fucking humiliated and destroyed you on that point. Let's assume that it can't for the sake of argument. Okay, how do you
Finish
know the
you.
universe isn't past eternal, or that we live in a fucking oscillating universe because our universe is like constantly expanding and then it's going to collapse in on itself, and that could result in another Big Bang? And there's been a past infinite number of Big Bangs and times the universe expand and then collapse in on itself, right? Or something that's not a
Mm.
god, not a mind, could have caused the universe, or we could live in a multiverse. All these other things are possibility. You're just making a
Yes,
false
of course.
dichotomy when you say
Yes,
either
you are.
it's something
You.
came from no. Sir, I
I'm not
wasn't
saying that it's
finished.
not.
I wasn't
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
finished.
Go ahead. Go
You're
ahead.
just making
Sorry.
a
Sorry.
false dichotomy. There's
Sorry.
tons of options. So you're just making a false dichotomy when you say that it's either something came from nothing or a God created the universe. Those are not the only two options.
Well, you're going to have to show me what exactly are the options are there apart from this, because yeah, you can say that we live in a multiverse. We can say that the world is infinite. We are going to go through, we are going through multiple big bangs. I know that scientists have proposed this, but you're going to have to show evidence than just simply proposing theories. You're just throwing theories, but you're not showing any evidence. See,
No, I
there's
don't.
no
I'm
there's
not
no conclusive.
proposing any one particular theory.
These
I'm
are all
just saying that
theories
these are
which, sorry, please
possibilities.
don't interrupt me, please. Sorry, please excuse me, please don't interrupt me. So basically what you're doing, you're just throwing theories which scientists have been throwing out for decades, but there's no conclusive evidence to this. So I mean, of course, there are many possible. You can say that the Earth is probably on the back of an elephant, and the elephant is walking on water for all I care. But that doesn't prove your position. That doesn't prove that what you are saying is true. You're going to have to show more evidence than this. You see. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you fucking idiot. I don't have a position. I don't know where the universe came from. I don't need to show you how the universe came about. That's not like, what are you saying? Are you doing the appeal to ignorance again? Where, well, without God, we don't know, therefore God must exist? I
So
don't
you're
know
not
where the fucking universe came from. I don't know if it's
basically
always existed. excuse me, I'm not finished. I was
Okay,
saying all these other possibilities because against your claim that there's only two options. Either God created the universe or something came from nothing. And I was showing that no, that's stupid, right? That's not the only two options. And I listed all these other possibilities. I don't take a position on any of them. I don't fucking know. And that's fine for me to not know. That doesn't mean that God exists.
so basically, you're saying you don't know, you don't care about the existence of the universe, you're not curious about it, you don't want to know your place in the universe. So that's how low you think humans are. You think humans are just here to exist, to live and breathe, and to die. Before that, you procreate and then you die, and then the cycle just leaves again, just goes on again. I mean, for me, that is a very
It could
small
be. That could
form
be
of
true.
existence. See, so what value do you put to your existence? I mean, what is your purpose of life? I mean, don't you have the curiosity to know what's your purpose of life at the very least?
Yeah, so me saying that there's all these different possibilities and I don't know which one is the case doesn't mean that I'm not, it doesn't follow that then I'm not curious, right? But, and then what's this stuff about what is the value of life? Are you doing the appeal to consequence thing? Like life is pointless without God? Are you doing that again? Life is pointless without God, therefore God exists? That's not an argument. That's an error in reasoning.
How is that erroneous?
Sir, do
if
you understand
you
that
know,
just because something
yeah.
has consequences doesn't mean it's false?
Well,
Do you
okay, I'm going to
understand
try to
that? It
steer.
doesn't
I'm going to
follow
try
that
to
it's
steer.
false because it has
Sorry,
consequences. Let's assume
I'm
on
going.
atheism, life is
Mhm.
pointless and you
Yeah.
can't have values or whatever the fuck you claimed. That doesn't mean that God exists. That's not an argument. It's an error in reasoning.
Like I said, you need to show evidence. You need to propose an alternative theory to God's existence. You see, you deny this. You don't. You say that it doesn't matter to you. It doesn't. You don't. Basically, you don't care about the existence of the universe.
I didn't say that.
For me, that's basically what you're implying, even if you don't say this
No, I didn't
clearly,
say that.
right?
I don't
So
know. To
yeah, to
me, I
me, I
mean,
mean,
it's.
I
I
mean,
don't think there's anything wrong with saying that God doesn't exist, right? But whenever you try to throw it, like get visceral with it, to try to just to knock somebody down, I guess, then it's like, well, you're doing the same thing you're accusing them of doing. So now you're just as bad as it. Just let him live, bro. If he wants to believe it, if you don't want to believe it, just let it live.
your reasoning
But this is a debate. I get it. Bro. I get it. I know why this is. Yeah,
is just that you're just
I'm just saying.
pointing out logical fallacies here and there. Logical, this is wrong, that is wrong, but you're not listening. You're not understanding. You're not feeling. So for me,
What am I not understanding?
all this comes together as a part, like I said, it's part of a huge jigsaw puzzle, which when you fit in together, then you will know and realize that the world does not exist in a vacuum. Okay, I mean,
I
yes,
don't,
you can say
but
this
I
is
don't get
this
the
is a
puzzle
logical
thing. You keep
fallacy,
saying
that
that.
is a
Okay, we
logical
gotta
fallacy.
address this fucking puzzle thing because I don't understand it. Right? You're saying that if you put a bunch of like errors and reasoning together in a puzzle, that you get God.
See, you're doing it again. You're pointing. This is a logical fallacy. That is a logical fallacy. This is wrong. That is wrong. But you're not listening. You're not understanding. You're not appealing. You're
What
not
am I not
got. You're
understanding?
not gonna. You're not conscious. You're not conscious of your fitra, religio naturalis. Okay, you're suppressing your innate nature to
What is the
recognize
fitra?
that fitra is basically what you call religio naturalis in Latin, right? So it means
It's
appeal,
what?
innate religio naturalis, the innate appeal, the innate inclination of man towards religion, regardless what religion you follow. You always have this. Even as an atheist, you would also have this as well. So
Okay, you're just
it's an
contradicting
innate.
yourself.
Yeah.
You're just
Mm.
contradicting yourself because you said that
I'm not
even an
contradicting myself.
atheist will have it, but you just will be like aware of it.
Yes,
But you
you
just
do.
said that
Yes,
I'm not aware of it, right?
yes.
You said
Yeah.
I'm not, I
Not.
don't,
It's not. It's.
I'm
It's
not
not that
aware
you're
of the
not
fitra,
aware.
right?
Sorry.
But you just
Please.
said
Sorry.
all
Sorry.
men have it. So you're
Yes.
just
Everyone has
contradicting
it.
yourself,
Everyone
sir.
has it. Sorry. Sorry. You're not listening again. Sorry. Please. So basically, what I'm saying is this. Okay, everyone has a religion naturalis. Everyone has an inclination towards religion. Okay,
You just said
yes,
I
you and
don't.
it is. I didn't say that you don't. I'm saying that you're suppressing it. Okay, I'm saying that you're suppressing it. So
You
even an
said I'm not
atheist has
conscious
an
of it or
inclination
something.
towards religion. Yes, you're not conscious. It's not that you're
Yeah.
not
So
conscious.
if
That you're
I'm not
suppressing it.
conscious of it, then I'm
Okay,
not aware of it, am I?
you're suppressing it. You're suppressing it. That's what I'm
Yeah, sir.
saying.
Now you're just
Okay.
now you're
Yeah.
backpedaling and changing your claim. You contradicted
Maybe I
yourself.
maybe I didn't word it properly. I'm sorry. Just I'm just defining,
Oh yeah,
redefining
you
what I.
misspoke.
Yeah, yeah, yes, probably yes. Maybe you didn't get what I meant earlier. So I'm sorry for that. But basically, what I mean is everyone has this. Everyone, regardless whether you're an atheist, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Jew, etc., whether you're Muslim, you have this innate inclination towards religion. Okay, so this is something. Okay, like I said, it's piece of a puzzle which fits together to the points that I've already mentioned earlier. The concept of design, the concept of cause and effect, morality and ethics, etc. So without this innate understanding to or of fitra of your religio naturalis, your inclination towards religion, you're going to just say, "Oh, this is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. This is wrong. That is wrong," and you're not going to come to the conclusion that I was trying to present. Yeah, that is basically what I'm
Do you
saying.
not think that there's a
Yeah.
problem with fallacious reasoning?
Again, say you're doing it again. You're saying, okay, this is a really. I mean, you're
I asked you a
suppressing
question.
you're suppressing. No, I'm saying it that what you are asking me is a fallacy for me, to me, at the very least. All right. So I think you can't just simply point out this is a
What
fallacy, that
fallacy?
is a fallacy, this is a fallacy. Okay.
What fallacy?
Okay. So
Me
basically,
asking a
this
question is a
my.
fallacy? A question can't be a fallacy, sir. A line of
I
reasoning,
think
when
that
somebody
I
makes
think
an
that that
error in a
that
line
I
of
think that
reasoning,
question.
that's what's fallacious, not a question.
I think the fact that you're asking me that question is a fallacy in itself because that's not what I'm
What
saying at all.
fallacy is it?
Okay. I mean, I can't name fallacies. I'm not a philosopher. Okay. I'm not someone who, indulges into, naming logical fallacies, etc. But the point I'm trying to make is that, okay, all the points that I made is part of a huge puzzle. Okay. And, you need to look at them from the lenses of someone, okay, who has an open heart and open mind and realize that the world just doesn't exist, and you need to have a curiosity, an innate curiosity, to understand how we exist, why do we exist, what is our purpose of existence. So without this understanding, then you're just going to be like a monotone robot, just pointing out fallacies here and there. We won't come to any conclusion. I mean, it will be running in circles again. Okay, so that is my point, my position. Okay.
The fitra and the puzzle pieces thing are just like claims. I don't see how they would be evidence for God, even if like that was the case. The fitra would be
I'm
evidence
not
for
saying
God,
that
even if it was
I'm not
true.
saying that it is the evidence for God. I'm saying it's a part of the jigsaw
Yeah,
puzzle
I don't
which
see how that would be
defines
any
the
kind of
understanding of
evidence for
God.
God.
Okay. I'm
But
not arguing that. I'm not
you're also just
arguing or
claiming
making
it.
the argument. No, I'm not disclaiming it. I'm saying
Yeah, how
here.
would you be able to fucking demonstrate that every person has that?
I mean, the fact that you're already asking questions about God shows that you do have some of it, but maybe you're suppressing it. I don't know. Maybe you are not understanding fully the bigger picture, the
What the
purpose
fuck?
of
If I
life.
question somebody who
Yes.
believes in fairies, that means that I have some awareness that fairies actually exist.
Yeah,
No, that's a red herring because you're
it's
talking about
exactly
fairies
what it
and
means.
unicorns and whatever, which
It's
I don't
not
make.
a fucking
Okay.
red herring. It's an analogy, sir.
I
It's an
mean that you are.
analogy.
I mean, we're talking about God here. We're not talking about fairies or unicorns or Pegasus, which we know that these things are creations of man. We don't
Bro,
we
I'm
don't know
talking
that these
about
You're
things
not
are
fairies.
answering
real.
the question. It
Okay.
was a fucking analogy.
So the reason why I say this is because, well, what you proposed in your opening statement, you made the stone argument, you made the problem of evil
All right,
argument,
let's
Do
see
you
what I
want to
we
and
can
you
address
make
also,
it.
those?
yeah,
I mean, we didn't
yes,
get
of
to all
course
your
I can.
arguments,
I'm
which I
I'm
can
I mean
do.
I'm more than happy to argue, to state that, to refute those,
Okay, do you
not
believe that
refute,
God's
but to address
omnipotent?
those. All
That
right.
God can do anything that's logically possible?
Yes, of course. As I've already recited the verse, the Surah Al-Ikhlas, where it says that God is supreme, omnipotent. I mean, I don't know how
Okay. Okay.
much more I can
Is it
explain
logically
what God is.
possible to create a stone that's so heavy you can't lift it?
The question itself is nonsensical because it's illogical. How could God do something or propose something which goes against his omnipotence? Doesn't make any sense.
Sir, you're not answering the question. Is it
No, because
logically possible to create a
it's
stone?
not a
I
logic.
can do that, right?
It's not a logical question because no one can live.
What does
I
that
mean,
mean for
can
a
you?
question to not be logical?
I mean, can Yes, because the question what you are proposing, what you are asking, basically the stone argument. I've heard this many times from atheists. I mean, the answer is simple. The answer is the question itself is illogical. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't compute basically. Like for
I don't
example,
know what
can
it
you
means for a
ask?
question to not be
It's simple. I
logical.
can give you. I can ask you this. Can I ask my laptop to make coffee for me?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
If your laptop was omnipotent and could do anything that was logically possible, yeah, your laptop should be able to fucking make coffee when you ask it to.